All right. Hello, Gun Nation. How's everyone doing? I hope y'all are doing well. We'll do a quick roll call. I was saying hi to some people out there. We got Dennis Buckner, Pistol Pete, Wheel and Weld Arm. Yeah, we will talk about the DWX. I have it on my list. We got Mai Kai. Let's see here. I thought that was somebody else, but all right. On the DWX, we will go ahead and we're starting a little early. Got my Texas Santa hat on. And somebody was asking, Dennis was asking if I still dress like Santa. A little bit, but this is my Texas one. I do have a full suit. I haven't worn it every year. I used to do a company uh, party for some friends of ours, and I was always the Santa. They sold the company off to some of their employees a while back, so I don't do that anymore. Um, but still, like that's an old picture actually, the one I posted. But so hello, Abigail, how are you? All right, yes, on the DWX. Okay, the DWX that's out or coming out that you can buy now, and some things people haven't told you. If you go on the Dan Wesson website, they have the full size DWX for sale, and they have the compact available on their website for sale. I actually added it to the cart just to see if it would say out of stock or whatever. Nope, it's in stock, it says. So, some things y'all don't know about, they do have the DWX compact that shows available. It's showing a 10 round, but it says compact. And on the PO1, it holds 15 or 16 plus one. So, there's that option too. And I think if you buy it through DWX website or through Dan Wesson's website, they were offering some free shipping. But they are expensive. But it is what it is. But the thing that's hurting it, it's kind of a day late and a dollar short. We waited on that thing for 3 years. It didn't come. Then when it came, I was hoping it was going to be optic ready. It is not optic ready. The first gens that are coming out are not optic ready. They're saying that they're going to have optic ready, hopefully available in Q2, which would be quarter two of 2023. They should have just made optic ready right out of the box. How they could have delayed it another month or something and just made them all optic ready to come out first. Because what's going to happen is they're probably going to come out optic ready and then they won't have any plates available. So then the plates will be non existent. So that's probably going to be what's happening. So people will buy all the optic ready and then the plates won't be available for another 2 or 3 months after that or longer. So I don't know, but that's CZ's track record. I love CZ, don't get me wrong, but that's always been their track record. And if you remember way back when, before I bought my 2011s, I wanted the DWX. I was going to buy the full size and the regular, the compact, just to try it. But they waited. They waited. They waited. I got tired of waiting. So I went ahead and bought the 2011s, and now I'm hooked on 2011s. So I don't know. The price point is like I think they're like $1,900 for both the compact and the full size. $1,910 or something like that, and then plus tax. But I don't know, man. I think that's cool that they take P10F mags, or the full size one does PO9 P10F mags, and it's probably going to be the P10F mags because they're dual cut where the PO9s aren't. I think it's cool that you can change the grips. You can put your Shadow 2 grips right on it automatically. I think that's cool. But man, they missed the boat with that optic ready. I really, really wish they would have had it optic ready right out of the box. Um, Honestly, I'm going to wait. Just me personally. I don't have to have it. I would still love to have it, but I'm going to wait till it's optic ready. So I'm not. I mean, I'm sure it's bulletproof. It's probably going to work great, but it is what it is. So, and then the compact one is going to take CZ75 mags, but I think y'all probably already remember that. Hello, Brian. How are you? Bald and Curious. How are you? Hello, Arcs Guns. How are y'all? Or how are you? If y'all haven't subscribed to Arch Guns, he was on last week. We had a really good time. Y'all go check him out. Yeah, ARC. I was talking about the Optic Ready. Yep, Dennis. The price point is 1901, I believe, which is kind of high, but you know, I think it's going to be an interesting option for people to buy. Golly, this thing. I think it's going to be an interesting option. I think people are still going to buy it. They're probably going to buy it and just have it milled on their own. But you know, it's got a lot of good features. Which other 2011 slash have, but that's not a 2011. So if you're kind of looking at it, you don't have a rear grip safety, which is cool, kind of like the TSO. You have your flip safety, which is fine. Supposedly they do fit in Shadow 2 holsters, supposedly. So, there's that also. Hello, LWR Road. How are you? Or LW Road. Ron Hunt. Yeah, anything coming out now should all be optic ready. I mean, I definitely think it should. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, IBG. People are going to buy them. So they're showing 2099. Yeah, I went on the Dan Wesson website and they were showing them there. Both available. I put them in my cart, both the compact and the full size, to see if it would do it. And it both took it, quantity of one, gave me my total price. Matter of fact, I even texted it to some people. I texted it showing ARC's guns, that it was available through their website. Hello, G23. How are you? I just think they missed the boat, man, without it being optic ready. And cheers, everyone. Merry Christmas. This will be, I guess, our last chat before Christmas. So we're having some noteworthy small batch, actually, quite a bit of it. Some noteworthy small batch 90 proof this evening. So that is what I am having. Not expensive, but it's very good. I really like it. Has that bite, which I like. But what I wanted to do, I don't have a whole bunch of questions. One was the DWX. I definitely want to talk about it because everybody's been blowing me up because I put all those videos out about the DWX and people are going over to that video and saying, "Hey, Big J, it's available now. Are you buying it? What do you think about it now? I saw videos. Are you going to buy it?" And that's why I was answering that. Just for the record again, in case anybody didn't hear, I'm not going to buy it right now. I wanted it optic ready, and I want to see how their optic cut is. If they're doing a direct mill for like an RMR or something like that, or if it's going to be a plate system, how deep it is. So there's some things I want to see. Not saying I won't get it. I'm just not getting the first batch. And I could take it and have it milled, but that's just extra money. And I don't need that gun right now. I would like to have it because I do collect those type of guns, but I don't know. I heard some people saying it was going to be a limited production. I don't know about that. Um, you know, Pistol Pete, it was on Dan Wesson's website. So you can go on their website and then they'll ship it to an FFL. Yeah, I might have deleted the pictures, but it was on the Dan Wesson website. I mean, I didn't say send it to an FFL and pay for them and all that other stuff, but they were offering free shipping, so I'm assuming you could. Let's see here. Yeah, and I didn't think that they did that either, but um, yeah, there it is. Yeah, and now on their website it's showing 2099. Yeah, now it's showing dealer locator. That's weird. Well, hello. Now I'm actually doubting myself. Arcs, if you're still on here, send me that text that well, hell, it'll be on your text. Yeah, here they are right here. Let's see what website this was. Yeah, there's what I sent him. I don't know how well y'all can see it, but there it is right there. And it shows $1,909. And then here is the DWX 9mm 10 round, which is the compact, because you'll notice it has the black grips. There's the price on that. And that's $1,909. And then here's the Dan Wesson that I put it in the cart, and there was free shipping. There's my cart total. If y'all can see that, I'm gonna take this off the screen. Hang on a second. There they are right there with the cart total and everything. That is for the compact and the full size. And my cart total is $38.18 with free shipping. So I could have swore that was their website. Yeah, it is right here. It's called the danwessonfirearmsstore.com. It's right down there at the bottom. If y'all can see that. I'll try to blow up the picture. Now, zoom in. danwessonfirearmsstore.com. So if you're wanting it, you can check with them and see if they still have any. Ron says he can't drink because he's a social drinker. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. Merry Christmas, Ron Hunt. Big J, do you own any Western hats? If so, which ones and who from? Yes, I do. I have. I posted pictures before, but I've got a bunch of cowboy hats. I've got some Felts, 10X Beavers, 12X Beavers. I've got some Stetson. I've got some. What's the other brand? I've got a bunch of straw hats from Palm West. Resistol. I have a Resistol 10X Beaver. Stetson, Resistol. I've got some other hats, man. I can't remember. I haven't bought one in a long time because all mine still work. I've got some that are kind of trashed, but that's when they're even better. But what's funny, out of felt hats and straw hats, I mean, I love my felts, but man, I'm a straw hat guy. I even sometimes wear them in the winter, which is a no-no, but I always have. But yeah, I posted it a long time ago, but I do wear Western hats, but I do get them fitted and custom bent. You don't want to just walk out of the store with one with the factory bend. You want to get it bent to fit your head or the way you like to wear it. I have a slope, and I've had them creased all different kinds of ways, but a lot of those places will custom crease them for you too when you buy them. That's a fake site. Is it really, Pistol Pete? Holy crap. Okay. Damn, I'm glad nobody bought from it. Damn. Hey, Casey, how are you? Wow. I did not know that was a fake site. Hello, David. How are you? Merry Christmas, man. That's crazy, Bald. I had no idea, man. I'm glad I didn't. Well, shit. Y'all ignore that site then. Crap. I didn't post anything on it. I just sent it to a couple of buddies, but I'm glad nobody bought something stupid or bought. Hell, I'm glad I didn't try to do something stupid like that. They'll probably steal your money. David, I like a lot of Leatherman. I have some of the old OG Leathermans. I'm not familiar with the Mutt. Um, I don't know, I've got some of the small Leathermans. I've got some of the big OG ones. I'm a big Leatherman fan. I really like them a lot. Some of them are kind of bulky, but I've got the smaller ones. I keep a lot of them have one in my gun bag, my main gun bag. I've got one in the truck. I mean, I've got them. I think I've got a couple up there. But yeah, nothing wrong with a Leatherman. Hello, Double B. How are you, man? Hello, Gun Nation, and ho 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 ho. Yes, hook 'em, Big J. Yep, I gotta represent. Got my horns up there. Yeah, I hear you, Bald. I'm broke too, man. Not having a job sucks. Yeah, I didn't know, LZ. I didn't know if when I saw that Dan Wesson Firearms, I didn't know if that was maybe their site or something. I'm glad nobody bought. I didn't send it out or post it because I don't want to post any fake crap. I just looked at it that night that they were talking about it, so I guess the scammers already threw up a site. Brian, there were who was having it? Primary Arms was having some sales on some, and I think PSA was also. Um, I can't remember the brand name. They were billet. Some of them were some billets. IBG, I can see in a silver belly. I actually do have a silver belly. I do have one. It is a silver belly. So yes, I do have one. And that one is a Stetson, I believe. I didn't know anybody was interested in stuff like that. What's funny is I was talking to a buddy of mine, and y'all know him. I was talking to Humble Marksman tonight about boots. And, I've got a bunch of cowboy boots that I wear. And he was asking all the kinds I have. And I shot him some pictures of some that he hadn't seen that I have. But I definitely love cowboy hats and cowboy boots. So, yep. And Bald, that brings up a very valid point. Yellow and blue make what? Makes that green. Yellow and blue makes green. Yep. Just keep that in the back of your mind. What's everyone's thoughts on an AK platform in 10 millimeter? You know, I've shot an AR platform in 10 millimeter. I want to say, was it it was a Vector. It wasn't really an AR platform, but um, I would get a 10 millimeter in a PCC, similar to that before I bought a 45 ACP or a PCC or a 40 caliber PCC. But, I mean, hell, if that's what you want, man, rock it. Merry Christmas, Reloading. Appreciate it, buddy. Yep. Dennis, we're on the same page. We're on the same page. They've been blacklisting me on everything. If you look at my videos, they're shadow banning me. They're demonetizing tons of my videos. I even got more demonetized. This may be demonetized. Who knows? Yes, Marshall, I agree with you. I agree with you. Can't say it because they'll probably throw me off here, but yeah. Yep. But what are y'all wanting for Christmas? Any gun stuff? Gear, uh, lights, anything like that? Anything y'all are excited about? Or any new stuff that y'all are excited about? I've been looking around and there's nothing that really just, you know, gets me super excited. Um, since I've been home, I did go through. I don't bring everything up, but in the past, I collected, or I do collect, or I guess I did. I haven't bought one in a long time, but I collect the metal cars, like the NHRA cars. Um, these are the all metal ones, not like the models that you build. These are the all metal ones. And I went through them. They were up in the attic. And I went through them. I've got some that are like old as hell, like these big cars. This is the original Plymouth Prowler, but I've got a whole bunch of these metal cars. Y'all can't see them, but there is a box here full of them, a box there full of them, a box there full of them. I pulled them all out of the attic and got them all cleaned up. I have some are actually autographed by the racers, the drivers. Um, some are still in the boxes, some are out of the boxes, but I even have more boxes of cars up there. I even have the 18 wheelers where they're all put together and then you put a little car inside of them. I've been collecting that shit or collecting them for shit probably 20 or 30 years. I didn't realize how many I had of them. I probably have like 150 of these freaking cars, and some of them are like big. Like I've got the original Viper when it first came out. I've got a Hemi that was similar to my race car. Um, I've got dragsters. Mike Dunn. I don't know if y'all are familiar with him. I knew Mike Dunn when he raced for Mopar, and I've got his dragster. It's an actual steel dragster, top fuel car. I mean, I've just got all this crap, and I'm just like, what the hell am I going to do with it? I don't want it anymore. I looked up in my area, I looked up a kid's, like a boys' home, and I was thinking about taking them to the boys' home. There's not one super local to me. However, some of these boys' homes, I found out there could be like 500 kids. I don't have 500 cars, but I actually thought about just taking them all up there and giving them out to the kids. And some of them are worth money. Some of them are highly collectible, but I'm just like, I don't know, you know, I just want them gone. Dennis is saying really interested in the Zev OZ9 Hypercomp with the X grip, but going in for surgery in 2 weeks. Oh man, I hope you're okay and you know hope everything works out well for your surgery. But I think the Hypercomp is actually really cool. And also Icarus came out with a new aluminum grip for the Hypercomp. I saw that's pretty cool. Thursday, boots any good? I see it all over my Facebook feeds. Rock Chalk, honestly, if they're pushing shit like that on Facebook, I don't know if I'd mess with them. I'm not familiar with Thursday boots. Lucchese's, I just can't wear Lucchese's because they have a high arch and I have more of a flat foot, but I'm a Justin guy. Um, Gosh, what is the other one? Bean and Company. I've got some of those. I have a local guy who makes some of my boots. He makes custom made boots. You go in there and put your feet in them. He will actually line your foot out and he will make your boots custom. Any boot you want, any skin you want, any design you want, he will make them for you. I've got some Joker boots, some player card boots that he's made for me. Also, he used to put a pocket inside of the boot where I could put, like I carried a 380 bodyguard way back in the day. I carried a 380 bodyguard in my boot and he made like a little holster in my boot and sewed it inside the boot for me. Um, I mean, you can do stuff like that. Honestly, I would stay with a reputable brand versus just getting something, you know, off of Facebook. I've got some uh, lariats, or God, what are they called? Uh, Hell, I even have some old Tony Lamas. I have Larry Mahans. I've got some corrals. You could go to like Cavenders and stuff, and you can get some pretty decent boots there too. Oh, Bald is collecting $100 bills. What's another thing that's really weird? I collect $2 bills. I've got some Red Star $2 bills. If y'all are familiar with those, it's a $2 bill, but it's all in red. They're pretty rare. I've got a bunch of those. I've got a bunch of silver coins, gold coins, actual real gold coins, solid gold coins. Precious metals are not a bad thing to hang on to. I collect whiskey. Yeah, I sent Harry and I hit the liquor store the other day and got another bottle of Bullet because I was out of Bullet. Got Bullet. I picked up this noteworthy single barrel reserve. Got another bottle of Basil Hayden's. Got another bottle of Blanton's, but I loaded up on the liquor store because I was running low on a bunch of liquor. And we're supposed to have a really cold spell. It's supposed to get down to like 15 degrees here tomorrow afternoon and Friday. So who the hell knows what's going to happen there? Hello, Vanessa Kitty. How are you? Merry Christmas to everyone. Hello, Miss Hotshot. Let's see. Do you have a 68 or a 69 Plymouth Fury? No. My father did have a 70 Charger RT Plum Crazy 440. Sold it about 3 years ago, a complete ground up restoration. I did a lot of work myself on that car. A beautiful car. I was never a Fury person. I liked them, but I was never a Fury person myself. But definitely a Mopar fan. I love Mopars. I had a 70 CUDA. It was really just a CUDA frame, and it was tubbed. At the time, I was running a 543 Keith Black engine in it. He built the engine, or he built the lower. I put the heads on it and everything. It was a quarter-mile car, and I had a 69 Hurst 444 or 442. That was a daily, you could daily drive it, but it wasn't stock. It had a 455 in it. It was a beast. Yeah, I definitely love the old muscle cars. Big fan. What else have I had? Had the old Trans Am. Had a 69 Chevelle. But the only one I really raced, I would street race the 442, and I would quarter mile race the CUDA. And again, it was just a CUDA body. Nothing else on it was, well, CUDA body and a CUDA frame. That's all it was. What did he charge to make boots for you? The boots range from 750 and up. I mean, you know, depending on what skins you want, but they're about 750 and up. But these are quality boots. They are made to fit your feet, not a store's foot. A couple of ounces of silver. Yeah, I've got books and books and books of silver. Well, here's the thing. Well, yeah, I mean, I agree with that. I've got plenty of ammo. Can't ever have enough, but 47. Yeah, right now it's like, I don't know, 36, but it's supposed to get down to like 14 or 15. I mean, they've been freaking out. So I don't know if we're going to have precipitation or not. They're saying no, but then sometimes they'll say yes. So who knows? I don't think there are any advantages to carrying a striker fire gun versus a single action, double action hammered fire gun. It's whatever you prefer. Um, you know, I think, just in my opinion, this is my opinion, on the single action, or I'm sorry, you're saying single action, double action hammered fire gun. On that, you can actually put your thumb on the back of the hammer when you're loading it into your pants, where you really can't do that with a striker fire gun. Some striker fire guns, you can get like a Glock button. It's an additional charge to where you can push that in, and you know you could load it in your britches. Um, you know that is a big thing on the double action, single action, where you could physically hold the hammer. So if you're loading into your pants and anything were to hit the trigger, it's going to try to push the hammer, and it won't go off. On a striker fire, it could go off if you're loading it. I always recommend to load it into your holster and then put the whole unit, the whole assembly, in your pants. And you can take it out the same exact way. You don't have to draw your pistol. But you know, it's going to vary between people. Some people don't feel comfortable carrying a Glock or a SIG or any striker fire pistol. That's where the double action, single action would definitely shine. But it's all up to you. And some people don't like having the first pull on their striker fire be 4.5 or 5 pounds. They would rather have a 6 or a 7 pound or 8 pound trigger, where the double action, single action, you would have that. Oh man, and I've got a friend of mine, my best friend, his son is actually out pig hunting right now. And they sent me a picture. I'm going to try to, yeah, because I don't want to show his face, but because he's a younger kid. Look at that bad boy he got tonight. Or today, I'm sorry. And that was with a 300 blackout. So sent me that picture, and I'm like, oh man, that's awesome. And that is his first pig kill. So I was super excited for him. Let me catch back up here. I like the way he thinks. Reloading from the hot pot is saying, make sure and give this a thumbs up. Yes, everybody smash that thumbs up. Yeah, I agree with you, Dennis. I've been thinking the same thing. They say they've got it fixed. They said that shouldn't be happening again. So we hopefully will be good. I don't want to go through that shit again. I didn't have electricity for, what was it, 4 or 5 days? That sucked. Yep. Mag should always be loaded. I have a few that aren't loaded, but that's because I've shot them. I just hadn't reloaded them, but always keep your mags loaded. Yeah, Springfield XDM, good gun. Don't like their company though. 2 safeties, grip, and trigger. If people want to go that way, yeah. And I mean, it's whatever you feel comfortable with. Hell, they also have a drop safety too, so they've got like 4 damn safeties. Um, Me, I don't need that many safeties. I feel pretty comfortable with what I carry, but I mean, the only safety I need on a single action trigger is the flip safety. I pin my grip safeties. I do not care for a grip safety, but it's whatever you feel comfortable with. Some people haven't carried for a long time, and that's why I say, maybe start out with a double action, single action to make you feel more comfortable and get used to a heavier trigger, and then the rest is cake. So, whatever you feel comfortable with. I don't ever tell people not what to carry. If you feel comfortable with an inexpensive gun or an expensive gun, whatever you feel comfortable with. I'm not the person to judge you. So I just want you to carry. That's why I say carry on. Congratulations on whomever friend has a kid. Yeah, I'm proud of him. He was really recommending, or he was really, he's a younger guy. I don't want to say a kid, but he's definitely younger. Um, but I've taken him shooting with me many times. Seen him go from, because he wasn't. I'm just letting y'all know the history. He's been a 100% airsoft guy. He's really good at airsoft, and wanted to come up with guns and didn't have a lot of guns. So I took him shooting, and his dad shooting, which is my best friend. We grew up. We've known each other since we were 7 years old, and I'm super old now, and we're still best friends. So, this is his kid. Uh, Taught him how to shoot. He's gotten really good at shooting real guns, not just airsoft. And he wanted to get a, rifle slash pistol. And I recommended, he was going between a 5.56 and a 300 blackout. And, I let him shoot mine, and he fell in love with a 300 blackout. So the pistol that you saw in that picture, it is a 300 blackout, and he got his first pig. So I'm pretty excited for him. So G23 is saying, so Big J, you betting on Texas versus Oregon in the bowl game? I would love Texas to win. Um, don't know if they're going to, but I would love for them to win. So yes, I've been a Texas fan since I was a kid because they're orange also. Rich is asking, what's the reasoning behind keeping all your mags loaded? Because otherwise they're just a piece of plastic and you can assess them easily. I have tons and tons of mags. Some people don't have that many mags, but I keep them all loaded just so I can, cycle through them. As I shoot them, I load them back up and I move them to the bottom of the pile so I can shoot through all the ammo. And, you know, otherwise, an unloaded mag, honestly, in my opinion, I'm not trying to be a dick, but an unloaded mag is just a piece of plastic or a doorstop. But if it's loaded and you have to use it, you've got it ready to go. And it doesn't hurt the tension on the spring. Don't be alarmed of that. You can keep them loaded for years and years and years. I've already proved that in many videos. DC is saying, what gun do you want for Christmas, Big J? I'm going to be very honest with y'all. There's not a gun out right now that I really, really, really have to have. There's not one that I'm just jumping up and down about. There's nothing out there right now that is super exciting to me that I either don't already have or have something very similar to. There's just nothing out there. And I'm not saying there might not be for someone else. There's just nothing out there. I'm sure I could find something that would be cool, but there's just nothing that's got me super excited about it. I carry a Glock, no safety, and a Kydex holster. It works, yeah. And I would highly recommend a Kydex holster. I've spoken with many, many people about the sticky holsters, about the leather holsters, and back in the day I carried leather holsters because that's all we had back then. But I've had people say, what is the benefit with Kydex over leather? Well, when you draw your pistol, especially appendix, leather or sticky, it's just going to compress. You can't reholster your weapon. So, or without, pulling your pants apart and trying to fish it down in there, which is stupid. Also, with leather, it does, if you sweat in it, it causes issues. It's going to cause your gun to rust and, contaminate your gun. You can have a great coating on it, but you can still get some rust imperfections. Also, another thing, you really can't wash leather, and you will get dust and particles in it. And when you put your gun in there, it will scratch it. Where Kydex, you can actually wash it out with soap and water. If you sweat in it or whatever, or get it really dusty, you can rinse it off and stick it back in your pants. I just am a big, big proponent of Kydex. People will say, oh, it scratches your gun. If you have a taco folded ass holster, yeah, it's going to scratch the shit out of your gun. But if you have a CAD molded, correct holster, they will not scratch your gun. So, and here's another thing. If you use your gun and you practice with your gun and your holster, you're going to get some muzzle wear. A gun is a tool. So if it's a gun you never, ever want to get scratched or have a scratch on it, by all means, put that thing in a safe and never touch it. That's just my opinion. I don't baby my shit. I shoot all my shit. I even have the very first gun I've ever gotten in my life, a 1986. I have my very first pistol, and I still shoot it. It's a Smith & Wesson 439 single stack 9mm. If anybody wants to know, I've got videos on it. Very, very first gun. Or first pistol, not rifle or shotgun. So my very first pistol. And it shoots great. It shoots great. TRS Commander, awesome gun. Practice prone shooting. Hello Scott, how are you? I'm just not a safe queen guy. Nothing wrong with guns if that's what you like and you want to keep them in a case and stuff like that. There's nothing wrong with that. I just want to shoot all my stuff. So, not a safe queen guy. David is saying, what's the point on worrying your gun? It's meant to be used, not a pretty thing. If you want it to be pretty, high maintenance. Yeah, and I'm not saying don't take care of your gun, don't lube it, don't clean it, don't oil it. I'm not saying any of that. I'm saying maintain your firearm, but it's like a truck. You're eventually going to get a scratch on it. You might even get a dent on it. I mean, guns are going to get scratched. You can look at mine up close. I've got small scratches on them. You know, I've got like little chips in the coatings and stuff like that. The Cerakote and stuff. I mean, it doesn't make two shits to me. My second green PO1 is going in the safe because I already shoot the shit out of the current one I already have. Yeah, and that's cool. And I've got doubles of guns too. There's nothing wrong with that. You always have a backup. That's funny. Uh, 50 loaded mags in New York. That's only 500 rounds. That's bad. That sucks, Bald. I know you're trying to get out of there as soon as you can. Hopefully, when you come to a free state, that'll be good. Exactly. Scratches add character, chips tell stories, something, something, inspirational speech. Yeah, I agree with that. You know, I've got guns where I'm like, yep, that's where flip. Like on some of them, when I flip the safety, you can see like a little wear mark on the side where I've rubbed my thumb up and down on it. I mean, that's just normal stuff. Also, I had somebody ask me the other day, what have I been carrying, for a gun check? And I guess I should probably start these out with a gun check. People were like, I miss your gun checks because I used to do them all the time in the car, but I haven't really been doing any truck videos. But I've been carrying the DWX DS9 Commander. I've been carrying that every day on my person. Even around the house, going to the store. I went and ran a bunch of errands today, try to get a bunch of honeydews and some of those last minute things. So I've been carrying the DW or the DS9 Commander MPA for only that gun for about the past 2.5 weeks. Nothing wrong with the staccato, still love that, but I really, I carried the DS9 back a while ago. I carried it, for probably a month or so, and I was like, you know what, I want to rotate it and carry that gun. So I've been carrying it with the aluminum grip and all that stuff. It is a tad heavier, but no big deal. I got a great holster for it, and enjoy it. I mean, they're great guns. Shoots really good, but I do miss my staccato with the comp. I just put it in the safe and wanted to rotate some things. So, let's see here. Besides New York, Cali, Oregon, and Colorado, what a gun restricted state. I think Maine has a few deals. Gosh, I'm trying to think. There was another one too. But anyway, we want to talk about the positive stuff. What's your recommended trigger for an SPO1? Recommended actual trigger that you pull. I would change that hooked trigger personally to the Shadow. It's like a Shadow 2 trigger. You can get it from CZ or CZ Customs or Cajun Gunworks. They sell the trigger. I forget the number on it. Pistol Pete will remember. It is, God, what is it? I forget the actual number on it, but it's more of the straight trigger. And then I would put the Cajun kit in it or the CZ Custom kit in it. To even make it better. I just do not like the hook trigger, and there's nothing against it for most handed people, but I have long fingers and big ass hands, and the little hook actually digs. It digs right into the bottom of my finger just because my fingers are so big, and that's just where it hits. And it pisses me off. I hate it. I can't stand that trigger, and I know many people love it, but I can't stand it. So that's just me. 85C Combat, yeah. So you can take that trigger assembly and pull your hooked one out, put it right in there along with the kit. Or you could just spring it. So you can put basic springs in it and make it better. Better hammer spring, extended firing pin, so it'll set off all primers. But yeah, you can do a lot with the SPO1. The only thing is the SPO1, no matter how hard you try, you still can't do as much to it as you can a Shadow 2. That's the only thing. Yeah, I don't have a lot of experience with the Armory Craft triggers. I know a lot of people have ran them. I'm sure they're great. I just personally haven't, so I only recommend the things that I've personally tried. But I think Bald's tried them and some other people have, so I'm sure they'll be great. I just hate that damn hook trigger. A little freaking booger hook. I just can't stand that thing. But that's just a me problem, not a everybody problem. PC charger for home defense. Yeah, I mean, hell, use what you want to use, man. That's the thing. As long as, oh yeah, Connecticut, Maryland, New Jersey. Yep, there you go, A-dubs. Yep, Massachusetts. Yep. I knew there were others. I've got uh, I've got a video that'll be coming out. I already shot it. I put all the parts in it, but it's kind of the ultimate uh, varmint kind of thing set up. And so I think y'all will like the video as soon as I finish the first part of it, but I've already done the shooting part of it. It is a lot of fun. But this is something that, it's very budget minded, but I think y'all might like it. I don't know if this will be the long haul setup on this rifle, so I will tell y'all that, but it is a rifle. But I think the way it's set up, it's pretty cool, and it's super super fast. Scott said I really got into liking flat triggers after picking up the flat trigger for my 226. Yeah, I love flat triggers. I'm a flat trigger guy. ARs, pistols, whatever. I do love a flat trigger. And it just hits my finger better, gives me more reach on a lot of pistols and even rifles, but definitely a flat trigger fan. I know a lot of people don't mind if it's curved or flat, but I'm definitely in the flat side. I love flat triggers. I like some curves on my ladies, but I like the flat triggers. David is curved or flat as long as it shoots. Yeah, it's just I do prefer the flat because it gives me more reach. The curve takes away some of that reach. So just with my finger size and maybe some other people that have larger finger sizes, you will notice a difference if you try the flat trigger over the curved. I just really like that extra reach. You know, that's just a me thing. Most people won't have that problem. Yeah, I've never had a catastrophic fail, so I don't know. I try to stay with reputable stuff. Anything can fail. Yeah, and Abigail, that's what I'd recommend. I've had people say flat or curved, and it's whatever you prefer. You can go into gun stores now and you can try them. I mean, there's plenty of guns, whether it be a rifle or a pistol, that come with flat triggers, just so you could check their reach. And that's the thing about flat triggers. You can get on a pistol, you can get a short reach, medium reach, or a long reach. So even for a smaller handed person, a lot of people still prefer a short reach, but a flat trigger versus a curved. So this is a great question, Rich. I've already been asked this question too. How will the DWX compare to staccato? Um, Honestly, it's probably going to shoot great. I don't think there's going to be any issues with the DWX. Probably going to be a fabulous gun. It does have the bushingless barrel and things like that, and the 2011 type trigger. So I think that's going to be great. It is going to take PO9 or P10 P10F mags, which is great. Those are very reliable mags in the P10F and the PO9. I don't know on the DWX, but I've heard it's okay from what they've said. I think it's going to be a great gun. It's going to come down to if you want to stay in the $2,000 range, the DWX might be the great option for you. If you want to, go up into the 2011 range, or if you want a grip safety, then the Staccato or other 2011s could be your go-to. Uh, here's the thing: if you're already vested in 2011s, the mags are not compatible between the DWX and the 2011s. We know that. So if you're already vested in 2011s, you might want to stay with 2011s. Like I said, I think the DWX is going to be a really great gun. And if you're not vested in anything, you might want to get the DWX to dabble in the single action gun for less cost, but a great product. I'm not knocking that gun. I just wish it really would have came optic ready right out of the damn box and not have to wait till Q2 to get a freaking optic ready gun. I think they should have did that right out of the damn box, especially after the wait that everybody's been through. But it is what it is. So, Pistol Pete, I do agree with that. The DWX will take a bite out of the Prodigy when they come to optic ready. We will see. I do agree with that. I don't think they're ever going to make it in 45, Scott. The 45, trust me, I love 45, but there's so many people now that are into the 10 millimeter over the 45. I just don't think they're going to go back and make a lot of guns in 45. I think they're going to try to push for the 10 millimeter now. But I personally still love 45. Hello, Lake Ozark guy. How are you? I love, that's the thing. I really like, especially in ARs, in rifles, I really like about a 3.5 pound trigger, a flat trigger, 3.5 pound. We talked about it before, and I've got like Rise, I've got Hyperfire, I've got some really nice triggers. I know Bald said the Trigger Tech. I just don't have any experience with them. I'm sure they're great. I've got, gosh, I've got so many flat triggers in different brands, but I just think 3.5 pounds is pretty much perfect on a rifle, single stage only. I'm not a double stage guy. And then on my pistols, I really, really do like. I like lighter around the 4 pound mark. I know people will say, "Hey, 5 is perfect," and I'm not saying that's bad. I just do prefer a lighter trigger even on my pistols. I've got some pistols that are 2.5 pounds. I've got some that are 3.5, 3.3, 4. Like all my staccatos are 4 now. My MPAs are all 3.5 and 2.5. My Glock is about a 4.5. My CZs are about a 4.3, I believe. I showed them on a trigger gauge not too long ago. My PO9s and PO7s, the double action is, gosh, it's like 7 pounds, but the single action is like 3.6. And you only pull the first pull, and then after that, you're in single action all the time. So it's just whatever your preference is. Yeah, Trudeau is horrible. He is horrible. That boy needs to be hung out and dried, or tarred and feathered, however you want to say it. Yeah, he's worthless. And if you remember, he went to some Halloween parties as a different color. That's pretty funny. I'll let y'all all read Abigail's quote. That's pretty funny. Has anyone mentioned the metal frame Smith & Wesson competitor yet? No, we've talked about it before. I'm not super impressed with it. The only reason is, what is it, 2 ounces heavier, but it's like $300 more. That's just not heavy enough to make a huge difference. I'm not saying it's bad. It just doesn't do anything for me personally. I agree, Abigail. I agree. We've got many of them out there. Lake Ozark guy, I thought that I had, a thing that I was sharing with just some friends. I didn't post it, and I'm glad I didn't, because apparently it was a fake website. But I would just, I would just keep an eye, look out for like Oak Hill Guns. They're very big into the CZs. Texas Gun Experience, I know when they get one, they're supposed to notify me so I can let everybody know, or when they get a batch of them. So I was going to let y'all know about that when they do. But, hopefully we can find out something about that. DC is saying that SIG modular system is great, but that high bore axis. Yeah, I mean, SIG has a lot going for it. I just wish they would revamp, some of their guns. They do have a high bore axis. I mean, are they shootable? Yes, they're still shootable. It's you should be able to shoot a high bore axis, low bore axis. It doesn't matter. But I will say this: on all the SIGs that I've owned with the higher bore axis, and it's not a negative, and I want to take your comment off so I can show this. When I shoot it, I get a buck. And I mean, I can put the monster grip on it. I can crunch that sucker down, and it's just a buck feeling. It's just that buck. And it's not that it's flipping like that, because it's not. It's just a bucking sensation. And not that that's bad, but all of my other guns shoot really, really flat. But when I get the X5 or something like that, it just gets that little bit of a buck to it. And I just don't like that feeling. And I'm a big feel shooter because I was a field golfer. I'm all about feel. And if I can feel things in my hand and stuff like that during videos, I try to explain it, because I am not recoil sensitive. I can shoot whatever. It doesn't matter to me. But I just get that weird buck. And I know it has to do with a high bore axis, and they feel like a PPQ. If you've ever shot the PPQ, the original PPQ, it's really front light, or it's light in the front. So you get that flip. And it's not a flip on the SIG, it's just that buck. I call it the SIG buck. That's what I've always called it if you've watched any of my old videos. Not that it's bad, it's shootable, but that is the feeling that I get through that gun. That's the way I can explain it. Not every SIG, just the 320, the original Legion, the AXG. It gives a little bit on the AXG, not bad because it's a metal frame, but it's just a little bit of a weird feeling. Definitely still shootable though. David is asking why some people shit on 40 Smith & Wesson. It's an all right round. It's just 10 millimeter light. Sure, 9 millimeter advanced through egalitarian science, but if those aren't around, 40 is good. Yeah, a lot of the 40 issues, and it's not a true issue, not that 40 is bad, but the FBI had to have it. They're like, we got to have 40, we're going to have something more powerful. But then a lot of the FBI agents couldn't shoot it because it was so snappy. So then they went back down to 40. Not that it's a bad round, it's been around forever. But it's just, it's just kind of ran its course. It's just, with the advancement in 9 millimeter and things like that, they've advanced the 9 millimeter, but not really advanced the 40 because it's not really in use as much anymore. So between a 9 and a 40, you can kind of get the same stuff out of both of them. Even a 9 plus P plus and all this other stuff. I don't really shoot a lot of plus P. I have in the past, but I don't carry it. The technology is already there with 9. So that's why, and 45 has gone through the same stuff. So it's just like, oh, that's an outdated round, blah, blah, blah. So, it's whatever you prefer, though. If you love 40, shoot 40. Hell, don't let people tell you what to do. I say that all the time. Don't let people sway you. If you like 40, shoot 40. It's just me personally. I've owned them, and I've talked about this in the past. I've done magnetic particle inspection on a lot of them. I won't get into that again, but I got rid of all my 40s. So I have a lot of ammo for them, but I don't have any 40 calibers anymore. I was referencing all the issues they've had with revolver lines, with the misaligned barrels, and just generally trying to make them cheaper, not giving a crap. Yeah, barrel or revolvers can come out of time. It's very uncommon, but it can happen. It could happen on some of the older ones that have a lot of play in them, but nowadays that really doesn't happen so much anymore. On those type of hammers, though, a lot of those are MEM. On the revolvers, the current revolvers, a lot of the hammers are MEM. And I will say this, and I'm going to say it because I've seen proof of it, so don't get mad at me. But like Taurus revolvers, I have a friend of mine, And if you follow me, you'll all know who that friend is. And he had a hammer or a Taurus hammer break. It actually just broke apart. And it was that mem shit. And I would not run that kind of stuff on a revolver. So those are the things I would look for or look out for. KO4S4, Merry Christmas, Big J. I took a date to the range, and her favorite fun, probably gun, was my Staccato P Delta Point Pro 6 MOA. She might be a keeper. Hey, awesome, man. Congratulations. That's awesome. Yeah, you can't go wrong with Staccato. They're great guns. Even though I had one take a shit on me, they handled it perfectly, got me fixed up, and that newer one is rocking on that C2. Haven't had any problems with my P, but also I got one of the very, very first C2s that came out, and put a shitload of rounds through it. Yes, I agree with that, Scott. A lot of 10 millimeters are loaded to 40 spec. Yeah, they got those powder puff loads, and Bald will be the first one to admit that. Yeah, like I said, there's nothing wrong with them. If that's what you enjoy, shoot those damn things. I always look at it this way, and I've said this, y'all have heard me preach this. If you have a gun, I don't care what caliber it is, and you enjoy it, and you shoot it well, and you carry it, freaking carry it. Rock that bitch. I don't care. I think, all this, influencers telling you, oh, don't shoot that, that's stupid, or all these comments that we all get if you do, like when I shoot my 45s, I get all the 10 millimeter guys come out and ladies. That's ridiculous. You're shooting a 45. That's so obsolete. Blah, 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 this. We all can agree it's bullet placement. So wherever you put that bullet, if you have a good bullet placement on that target, you're going to take care of business. So whatever caliber it is, that's what it is. Been plenty of people taken down with 22s. So it is what it is. But yeah, don't let people sway you. And this new little plastic wonder gun that's coming out is not going to be the savior. It all comes down to you putting in the time with your gun, making sure it works, and make sure you shoot it well. .30-06, but it's caliber to 40 caliber. Wonder how that round would do. Man, I don't know. 30-06, I like 30-06. Yeah, Pistol Pete, I hear you there. I love 45. Just wish it was 9mm pricing. Yeah, I still have tons of 45. And that's the thing, even with 45 and of course 10 millimeter, you can have 45 that's 180 grain, 190 grain, 230 grains of hate. I mean, you can get it grained all different ways. I've got some that I can shoot powder puff loads out of in my gun. My 45s will still run, but it's just whatever you want to shoot. I think for self-defense, I would definitely stay with a 230 grain. Even though the 180s are faster, and I've got some hollow points that are 180 grain, they'll definitely open up. But on a 45, I do prefer the 230 grain defensive ammo. That is my preferred for defense. Nothing wrong with any of them, but 3 shots down. Merry Christmas, everyone. Does any shotgun, regardless of gauge, use lead anymore? You're talking about, I guess, the shells? Like, do they have lead in them? I have plenty of ones that still have lead in them. And I know some have like the copper BBs and stuff like that. But if that's what you're asking, I still have a lot of lead rounds, depending on, what your shells. Yeah. Yeah, I still have a lot of lead rounds, but I loaded up 1,000 years ago. I've got birdshot, buckshot, slugs. I have lead slug rounds, the 1 ounce. Yeah, I think a lot of them are still available in lead unless you're in a state where they don't allow lead. I mean, that could be a possibility. But yeah, I just wanted to do this chat and answer some of y'all's questions and wish everyone out there a very Merry Christmas. Please love one another. If you haven't talked to your family and friends and things like that in a while, please reach out to them, make sure they're okay. Some people might be alone for Christmas, so please reach out to them. I've been reaching out to a lot of friends and stuff, just touching base with them, making sure their family and them are safe and well and all that stuff. It's always a good thing to do that. But yeah, I just definitely wanted to wish all of y'all a very Merry Christmas. And, definitely we got the Pro 2A people, as Pistol Pete says. That's why I named it this chat, because we are all in this together. It is a shit show in some states. So, and I don't know if y'all have heard, but Texas, after the first of the year, has a whole crap load of anti stuff coming our way too that we're going to have to be dealing with. So it's on the agenda for the 1st of January when they come back in session. We've got a bunch of shit hitting here in Texas we're going to have to deal with. So I look at it this way, though, and I've said this in many, many, many videos. You're all in different states. You're all fighting bullshit. But when it comes down to it, at the end of the day, you are your own protector. You are your own advisor. You are your own decider. So it comes down to what you want to do. Also, if you think about it, something was supposed to be on the docket, and I'm not going to say the word because I'll probably get demonetized, but it has to do with, like, if you break your arm, they put you in a what? Like a brace. Remember we were supposed to have that coming down? I haven't heard anything about that, and I don't give two shits if we do. So that's what I'm going to say. But Chris is going to have his chat, so I don't want to jump in on his chat and tie it up. We're already 6 minutes over, but really want to appreciate everyone. It's been a great year. We're all growing on YouTube. There's a lot of great, Bald, Hot Pot. There's a bunch of great content creators on here. Please subscribe to each other. Share some videos, give thumbs up, things like that. That helps everyone. We're all in this together. And it has become harder and harder and harder on YouTube to get your videos out, because if they're demonetized, it's not just the money. You don't make any money. We all know that. But they silence you. They don't send it out so other people can see it. And we're trying to get out to the anti-gun groups, or the anti-gun people, or people that are curious about guns, that are scared of them. So we want our videos shared. We want everyone to know where we're coming from and that we are all good people. There are good people who carry guns every day and would put their life on the line for other people, who are not gun people. But we're all in it together. So that's what I want to say. Hey, Redbird, how are you? Good to see you. But I want to thank y'all all. Have a very Merry Christmas. We will do this next Wednesday after Christmas, and y'all can tell me what y'all got. So the next one is going to be what everybody got. Did you get some really cool stuff? I've gotten a couple of gift cards. We had our family Christmas that came in from out of town, so I've gotten a couple of gift cards, but probably just pick up some ammo, stuff like that. Nothing big, but that's what it's all about. And if y'all are traveling, to go see family, please be safe. Carry a gun on you. There's some weirdos out there. So just, everybody be safe out there. But I appreciate it. Y'all take care. Have a great night. And remember, an unarmed nation's a very weak nation. So we all got to carry on. Thanks, everyone. Y'all take care. Merry Christmas.